Welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3 Friendship is Magic. My name is J. Randall0308, and in this series, I forcibly befriend a variety of monsters and NPCs to bring them completely under my control with the power of PolyDom. Thus far, my flock of friends consists of Anders, a harpy, and the Gnoll Flind. That's one humanoid, one monstrosity, and one fiend. My rule that friends must be humanoids is already twice broken. And when I said my friends must have 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head, I didn't say they couldn't also have wings. Earlier in this run, I met the kindly old woman, Ethel, who sold me numerous lotions and potions from her spot in the Emerald Grove. Today, I'll accept her invitation to visit her home in the beautiful Sunlit Wetlands, where we can discuss my medical condition. Excuse me, can you keep it down? I'm recording my voiceover here. I've already dealt with the Blighted Village in my previous early game leveling up. From there, I journeyed south and west towards the Sunlit Wetlands. Excuse me, friends. Friends! Be quiet! Sorry. One of the joys of so many friends is you get to listen to their sound effects as you travel. I've told them to keep it down, so there shouldn't be any more interruptions. I find a self-proclaimed monster hunter named Gandrel loitering around near Auntie Ethel's home like a creeper. He rudely rebuffs my request that he reroute himself into my retinue. Did I say request? Make that a demand. Those of you who have battled Gandrel know about his Scar of Fury passive, which allows him to automatically crit when he is below 40% hit points. Automatic crits are incredibly strong. Although I don't take advantage of Gandrel's Scar of Fury in this video, I'll use it in the next one. Before I enter Ethel's hut, I consider befriending some of the strange fellows who think they are sheep.
Nosy, scum-sucking, lice-reading little ball-bag! Get out! Or I bite its tongue. Eat its tongue. Delicious tongue.
Whoa, no thanks, that's violent and disturbing. Battle is joined, and I discover a problem. Combats against routine enemies don't last long enough for the Flind's Seething Fury to grow into Frenzied Fury, which is what unlocks her multi-attack. It's one of those good problems to have, because it means I'm efficient in combat, but it's still disappointing. To show off what the Flind can do, here's a combat against the Mud Mephits and Woodwoads that have been buffed with plus 200% of their normal hit points using Pixelbyte's Tactician Enhanced mod. After 3 turns, Seething Fury goes away, the Flind gains the Festering Frenzy condition, and that unlocks her ability to spend a bonus action on Frenzied Fury. Now she can multi-attack, which means the Flind uses Flail of Madness, Flail of Pain, and Flail of Paralysis in quick succession against the target. That's a lot of damage when they all connect. It's also notable that a maddened target may be prioritized by its erstwhile allies, which is great fun. And of course, a paralyzed target is automatically critically hit. For most of this run, I play it straight, fighting enemies with their normal amount of hit points. That means most combats end before the Flind can fully Hulk out. But if you play a PolyDom run and want to let combats breathe a bit, I recommend the Tactician Enhanced mod. You could also give enemies more actions to make up for the tremendous action economy advantage you will build up as you increase your flock of friends. The main attraction of the visit to the Sunlit Wetlands, or Putrid Bog, depending on how you look at it, is Auntie Ethel herself. The PolyDom is straightforward. I take a look at her powers. Wow, that's a lot of icons. Some of Ethel's powers are unavailable. Her Insect Plague, Polymorph, and 1 copy of Ray of Sickness. That's because each of those have requirement conditions that relate specifically to the Act 3 version of Ethel. The reason she has several instances of Auntie's Trickery is so she can use it in multiple phases of her lair encounter. Each spell has a once per combat cooldown, so if Ethel only had 1 copy of Auntie's Trickery, she'd only be able to use it once. By contrast, her Hold Person and Vicious Mockery are both coded as cantrips, so Ethel can use those spells every round. And her Vicious Mockery is a bonus action. Monsters do not follow the same rules as player characters. You know how people say, don't try new stuff on Honor Mode? That's generally good advice. Also generally good advice is, don't mess around with polydomed creatures in the location where their scripts function. Here, I have Ethel disguise herself as Mayrina. When Ethel enters the hut, the real Mayrina becomes hostile. For reasons that escape me now, I attack my new friend Ethel, which causes her to teleport to the fireplace and escape. Or it would have if she weren't my friend, I guess. That's weird. After a conversation with Mayrina, I notice Ethel is missing. I click on her portrait and find her in her lair. I wonder what Hag's trickery will... Oh crap, why do I do this to myself? What's crazy here is that one of the illusory hags uses a spell that triggers the real hag's weird magic surge. Fortunately, there is a maximum number of illusions that can be present, so this isn't the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Still, I'm not going to win this fight when every round the illusions replenish their numbers. I finally escaped this impending disaster through the mushroom circle. Whew. Time to waypoint back to the tea house.
You come to my home, interfere in my business, and now have the gall to face me in the heart of my lair. You petulant bollocks! I'll rip your spine out your asshole! I'll use your blood to spice my stew! I'll keep you alive until I've sucked the marrow from your bones. And then I'll bring you back and do it all over again. You
Yeah... Right. Remember in the introductory episode when I said I would play on custom difficulty in case I had to reload because of a soft lock? This would be one of those times. After some reloads and retracing my steps, I get everyone near Connor's coffin. It's protected by an impenetrable arcane barrier. Don't! Mayrina is stuck in the hag's lair and won't talk to me anymore. I don't want to reload yet again, so the remainder of this run proceeds without Connor, and thus without Connormancy. What's Connormancy? I'm glad you asked. Friendly Lich has an excellent explanatory Reddit post and video, which are linked in the description, so check those out. Some of you may be dying to know how Connormancy interacts with PolyDom companions. Just for you, I have some special bonus content at the end of this video, as well as a link to another instructional video. However, in this run, no Connor for me, and thus no Connormancy. While exploring the hag's lair, I noticed that Ethel's other guests are really touchy and angry about everything. That's no way to go through life. All 4 of them need to be my friends. First, I lure the masks out of their room. Then oh, for the love of... You'd think I'd never played this game before. At least this time Auntie Ethel is alone in her lair rather than beset by her own illusions. I'll go back for her later. I polymorph the Mask of Vengeance, who still uses her reaction against me? What, does she headbutt me with her little sheep horns? Karlach uses Dominate Beast, and I now need to get both characters out of this combat zone so they can return to camp. As soon as my character exits through the door, he's no longer grouped with Karlach, and also no longer in turn-based mode. After some gyrations, I get this sorted out, and there's the befriended Mask of Vengeance. That's 1. I take a long rest, come back the next day, and do it again for the second mask, then the third and fourth. I know what you're thinking. Why bother? The masks are only 4th level and they don't have great ability scores. Be that as it may, one of the masks is subtly among the most powerful friends you can possibly make, but that secret must wait for a forthcoming video. Just don't try to equip them with a head slot item. It does not end well. In the next video, it's time for the Goblin Leaders to join my flock of friends. I hope you're enjoying Baldur's Gate 3 Friendship is Magic. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching! As promised, here is some bonus content related to how Connormancy interacts with PolyDom. Imagine a world in which my character successfully obtained the Bitter Divorce Wand. Further, imagine that Gandrel was accidentally killed. My character can simply use Bitter Divorce on Connor, target Gandrel's body, and poof, Gandrel is revived, good as new. This makes your polydomed companions immortal, which is even more broken than regular polydom. Enjoy! What's this? More bonus content? You betcha! There's a video by Gamotalk from February 2024 in which he discovers there are 2 hags in Act 1. Well, it's really 2 copies of the same hag, our beloved Auntie Ethel. Gamotalk traps Ethel in conversation near Mayrina's brothers, and then finds another Ethel in her hut. In my own run, I noticed that after I polydomed Ethel, when I headed down the stairs behind her fireplace, I still saw the cutscene in which Ethel mocks you for entering her lair. This case is similar to the one that Gamotalk documented, except that instead of one Ethel trapped in conversation, one Ethel is trapped in my party. Clearly, I had to PolyDom the other Ethel. Unfortunately, the Ethel from the cutscene is merely a level 1 dummy version with no powers. Here they are side by side. They have different color skirts, which is a neat touch. I hope you enjoyed this random find.